Hello everyone, I want to tell you about my analysis of the story The Happy Man. Author of the story is Somerset Maugham. William Somerset Maugham is one of the best-known English writers of the 20th century. He was not only a novelist but also one of the most successful dramatists and short story writers. He was born in Paris in 1874. His parents died when he was very young and the boy was brought up his uncle. In 1890 he went abroad and studied at the University of Heidelberg, from which he returned to England in 1892, and as his parents had destined him for the medical profession, he became a medical student at Thomas Hospital in London. His experience in treating the sick gave Maugham material for his first book, Lisa of Lambeth. After that also he became a fully qualified doctor. Somerset decided to devote his life to literature. I didn't want to be a doctor. I didn't want to be anything but a writer. Somerset Maugham has written 24 plays, 19 novels, and a large number of short stories. Somerset Maugham died 1965. In the short story, under analysis, a visit to the narrator is described. The visitor is a doctor who wants to ask whether he should leave for Spain or not to succeed in his life. The narrator answers that it can be difficult for him, but he should do that. The visitor leaves. 15 years later, the narrator goes to Spain, where he meets his visitor and hears from him that his life is really good, though he is not rich. From the story we can see that we should be not afraid to risk. The doctor, inspired by the narrator, moves to Spain and becomes a happy man. Nevertheless, there is another idea too. Maugham puts the question for us: should we advise people or not? I divide the story into three parts. The introduction, where the problem of giving advice is stated, the main part, where a piece of advice is given, and the conclusion, where we get to know the consequences of it. The story is written in a first-person narrative, and the narrator is a doctor, from which we may suggest that the narrator is an author himself, which makes his story more true to life. Maugham uses some stylistic devices so that his story would be more expressive. It is interesting that the introduction is different from the rest of the story. When telling his abstract thoughts, Maugham uses a big amount of complex sentences, and his language is more metaphorical, while the main part is written in his usual plain style, which helps to see the idea without stumbling over the decorations.